There is the still coming for your marriage, even though it feels like you're in the storm right now. But in the meantime, don't forget, He's still in your boat. Amen? We need to break this erroneous, even paganistic mindset that says that when something is going wrong, it means that somehow God has turned His back on you. These guys were smack bang in the middle of God's will, if you will. But the storm still brewed. Sometimes difficult seasons befall good people. And so here they are, and they're going from point A through to point B in the middle of the lake. This furious squall, this massive storm brews and hits. The boat is rocked. Their courage is sapped. They turn to their Jesus, and He's sleeping on a cushion. Eventually, Jesus is awakened. The wind and the waves are commanded to calm down. Revelation is revealed. A miracle occurs. But more about that later. I want to know, where was Jesus? No. Where is Jesus when it feels like He's gone just a little bit quiet in my marriage storm? Point number one, write this down. He is still in your boat. He is still in your boat. If you walk away with nothing else out of this session, I want you to have this resonating deep within your being. May this be the booming soundtrack of your marriage as you walk through a storm. He is still in your boat. He hasn't left you. He hasn't forsaken you. The one who promised to be with you to the very end of this age is keeping His promise in this moment. He is still in your boat. When the going gets hot, Jesus doesn't get going. Come on. He is still in your boat. Elvis may have left the building, but Jesus hasn't. Come on. He is still in your boat. And you better say that to yourself, and you better say that to your spouse a few times in the days ahead. Come on, He is still in your boat. Look at the text. He's there with the disciples. The rain is falling on the disciples. The rain is falling on Jesus. The waves were rocking the disciples. The waves were rocking Jesus. The sea was threatening the disciples. The sea was threatening Jesus. If that boat capsized and the disciples would have to make a swim for shore, Jesus would have capsized and would have to make a swim/walk for shore, because Jesus was in the boat. Don't let the devil lie to you that somehow, you know what, you've done too much, or you've splintered too far, or you've hurt each other too much, that somehow Jesus goes, I'm giving up. No, He is in your boat. He hasn't left you. He hasn't forsaken you. Number two, write this down. He is still in control. He is still in control. Now, He was sleeping on a cushion, and I can understand why some people interpret that as apathy. Jesus is asleep, and He's not talking back. He's not healing this situation. He's not calming this problem. He's not eradicating this terrible thing that we're experiencing in our marriage. Hey, Jesus is being quiet, so therefore He doesn't care. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Bible tells us that God demonstrates His love for us once and for all in this: whilst we're still sinners running the other direction, Jesus died for us. A blood-stained cross and an empty tomb is proof once and for all that Jesus cares. So if He slept, He must have slept for another reason. May I suggest to you that He's silent every now and then because He's not stressed, because He's still in control. He was sleeping like a baby, not a care in the world. Well, your baby, not my baby. He's still in control. Because that's how you are when you're Alpha Omega, your beginning and the end. The writer, the director, the star, the producer of this whole movie, he knows when the final credits are going to roll, and they ain't rolling yet. He knew how this was going to play out. He already told them. He said that right at the beginning, let us go over to the other side. He didn't say, today's a nice day to go out into the middle of the lake to drown. And you need to hear this. Can someone just receive this in your spirit? You're going to get to the other side. Come on, squeeze your spouse's hand and say, we're going to get to the other side. But we've been fighting for a long time. You're going to get to the other side. Hey, we've been on different pages for a long time. You're going to get to the other side. Hey, I feel so hurt and betrayed. You're going to get to the other side. Hey, this is the big one. We're going on. No, you're going to get to the other side. But I've changed. Yes, you've changed, but he hasn't. You're going to get to the other side. Come on, if you're going to clap, you may as well clap properly and just warm yourselves up for a great day here at XO. You're getting to the other side. Colossians 1 tells us that he is Jesus, the firstborn over all creation, through whom everything is made, for whom everything is made, in whom everything is held together. He's literally got the whole world in his hands, and that includes your marriage. You're getting to the other side. Hey, get off the stage keyboard and start to play in the background. So you better scribble this down real quick. Number 3, he will act. By his grace, for his glory, in his time, because God is jacked, he will act. That's what he does. He eventually wakes up. I don't know how he got woken up. I don't know if the disciples did it. I could imagine, the conversation amongst the disciples. Hey, someone needs to wake the master up. This is really bad. We're going under. Yo, Pete, you should say something. You're always shooting your mouth off. Nah, he called me Satan last week. I'm not pushing it. Hey, Thomas, say something. I doubt he'll listen to me. Hey, Judas, you should say something. Nah, he always looks at me funny. Somehow he got awakened. He turns to the wind, turns to the waves, says, quiet, be still. And creation was calmed. There is the still coming for your marriage, even though it feels like you're in the storm right now. But in the meantime, don't forget, he's still in your boat. Amen? Amen. He is still in control. And he's powerful enough to act, and he will. Can I just take you to Sunday school for 30 seconds? Come on, this is Jesus. He's got the power to create the heavens and the earth in 6 days and still have a day off to watch Dallas Cowboy football. Come on, this is Jesus. Brought forth the nation of Israel from a pensioner and his barren wife. Come on, this is Jesus. Could split the Red Sea with nothing but a stick and a gust of wind. This is Jesus. Can fell the giant Goliath with nothing but a sling and a stone. Come on, this is Jesus. Can bring down the walls of Jericho with nothing but a song and a shout. Come on, this is Jesus. Close the mouth of the lion, open the eyes of the blind, heal the sick, raise the dead, birth the church. Come on, he saved your crazy life. Come on, this is Jesus. And he can act. And you can experience your healing, and you can experience your restoration. You can experience your freedom. You can experience forgiveness that is not of this world. You're going to experience it in his time for his glory, but in the meantime, don't miss it. He's doing some of his best work. I love the little detail at the end of this story. The disciples get together and say, who is this guy? Even the wind and the waves obey him. Or in other words, there is something about Jesus they know after this season of silence that they didn't know before they went into it. And what you're actually going through right now in your marriage is actually your setup to experience Jesus in the most full, rich, and beautiful 4D, ultra, you know what I'm saying? Don't miss it. It's easy to talk about God being your peace, Jehovah Shalom, but you just wait till you need Jesus to bring peace into your house. It goes from a theology that you can spout to the reality that you build your life upon. Hey, it's wonderful to claim as Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides, but you just wait till you have to fall to your knees and hold your spouse's hand and say, we can't get through this unless you step in. And then he does. All of a sudden, the provision of heaven becomes something you don't take for granted, but something that you build your life leaning into. He's showing you in this season of silence. Can someone say a good amen? Okay, my time is done. My race is run. My sushi is getting warm. I wish I had a really cool miracle breakthrough story to tie a really neat bow on this message. I wish I can tell you that my storm in our marriage came to an end when an angel broke into our house and put a coal in my daughter's mouth and said, you're going to declare the gospel to the nations. That's the reason you're not going to be quiet. That didn't happen. After 2 years, my baby girl went to sleep because she was tired. But fear not, my wife and I were smart enough to make another one, to pick up where his sister left off. So there we were again. Crying wife, crying baby boy, me nearly crying but still not crying because I'm a manly man. In our living room night after night, exhausted and exasperated. A couple of weeks into this ordeal, I remember one evening, my wife turns to me, tired but stunning. And she looks at me, she goes, babe, we're gonna be okay. Because Jesus is in our boat. And I said, babe, I know that, because I taught you that. Will you just grab your spouse's hand right now? Just say this after me. Jesus, you are still in our boat. You have not left us. You have not forsaken us. What you blessed, you are still with. Jesus, you are still in control. In the dark times, in the hard times, in the discouraging times, you're in control. So act. Do what only you can do. By your grace, for your glory, in your time. Amen. He's still in your boat.